Sure. So, well, I welcome you all for this wonderful session on Get Set Ready for Exams. Yes. So today we are going to dive into all the reasons why we need to focus on our, children, how we need to stand as pillars of support by their side, and how to help them overcome all the problems, in regard to exams. So, well, I'll just give me a moment. I'll just start my share my PPTs with you and start the session. Just give me a moment. So before we start, get set ready for exams. There are a few checklists that I would like to share with you. One is please put on your mobile, put your mobile, on a silent mode. Cameras, please put on your cameras, and questions we'll have after the session. Please put on your cameras. When you are active, I think you are able to learn more. So you are a teacher at a primary school. Wonderful, madam. So you can keep the chat boxes on. In the meantime, all right. So we'll have the questions at the end of the session, by the end of the session. If I request, Ritika, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
I've made you the host. Please keep entering people when they are coming in. I'll be busy focusing.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
okay, they can enter.
There's a
This is
waiting
not.
room.
Is there any waiting room
Yeah,
available,
yeah,
ma'am?
yeah. Yeah.
Then how you can share the screen, ma'am?
Oh, I can't share the screen then.
Yes.
Okay. What do I do?
Ma'am, people can join of their own.
Okay. All right.
Okay, ma'am.
Uh, you are the host now, I think. Ritika, you are the host.
Ma'am,
I'm
I
again the host.
guess
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Okay, I'll have to share the screen. Okay, fine. I don't know how I'll be able to enter together. Okay. All right. So let's start the session now. Let's dive in. So I'm a certified storyteller, master NLP coach, a concentration enhancement coach, a certified parenting coach. And yes, I use multiple intelligence story to analyze the strengths and weaknesses of children. Even you can do that. And I help children, overcome the weaknesses through their strengths. That should be the pathway. And I can help you stretch the attention spans of your children from, 45 minutes to 2 hours, using my techniques and all. So they can increase their productivity, and they can lead a productive life thereafter. So today we are going to talk about why we feel stressed and anxious, and the repercussions of feeling stressed, and what are the tips available for the parents and teachers, and study management tips for children, also simple techniques which can help you release all the stress that you have in regard to exams. So if we start the session, so why we need to talk about exam stress? Just keep the chat box active. Just keep answering the questions. So why should we talk about exam stress? There is a lot of stress attached to exams. We all know that. And why is the need to talk about stress? Guys, please keep chatting with me. Give me a feeler that I'm talking to human beings. So, well, chalo, let me answer the questions. So about 45% of children are suffering because they're not respected for they're not respected for scoring low marks, and 80% suffer from exam anxiety, and 33%, they compiled with peer pressures, somebody scoring less, somebody scoring more. So that is affecting them. And this is one of the reasons for the highest number of suicidal rates. So I think this is why I chose this as a topic. It's very important to address this topic today. It's the need of the hour. So who has created that stress? We as teachers and we as parents has have communicated, and it's taking a toll on our lives, because if our children are not happy, they are stressed, their performance would go low, and definitely it's going to again come back to us only. So, well, this is the reason we are discussing about this. So why we need to be anxious about exams? So who has attached this fear with this word exams? Exam is equal to fear. We have created that stress. We have attached the word fear with this word exam. So I think it's not going to make any, it's not leading us to any benefits. In fact, it is going to, make us feel more stressed, and this anxiety is not going to give us good results. We as parents, when we were children, we were told, exam aa raha hai, pad lo, stop looking at the screens, TV band kar do, kal exam aayega na, फिर पता चलेगा क्या होगा. We keep scaring our children in regard to exams. We never like this, but unconsciously we don't realize, but we are doing the same with our children. So exam मतलब डर जाओ, शेर आने वाला है. I don't know why, but we do it. We should not be doing it. It's not going to help us in any ways. कोई काम नहीं आने वाला. So there are 3 F's that are attached with exam. Stress whenever it is created, तो जो हार्मोन्स रिलीज होते हैं, 3 F's, they are there. What are the 3 F's? Either we have the strength to face it, so we fight it. Tom and Jerry में देखते हैं कि the Jerry is able to fight with the cat, size में इतना बड़ा, but then it has the strength to fight with that fear. And then second, flight, भाग जाओ. You will have the strength to run away from that situation. That is the second F. And third is you freeze. So when you are scared, a racing car keeps coming towards you, you just freeze. You don't know what to do. Either lie, right, left jana, left jana. You don't realize, but you freeze on that point. You don't know what to do. It so happened with me at one point of my time. When I was just 14 years old, a snake appeared in front of me, and I was there with my friend. I just stopped. I just kept staring at the snake. कुछ नहीं कर रहे, बस देखती रह गई. And suddenly we realized, and then we started running and we started shouting. So you just freeze when you are scared at one point of time. So, dimag kaam nahi karta, and you just stand there and you just don't know what to do at that point of time. Then they are scared of losing grades. Grades come high. If you score low, if you score high, if you analyze the situation in your life, there were so many students who were scoring such good marks. And when you see them in life, marks have a very little role to play in your lives. So what if thoda sa kam aa jayega? How does it matter? It's not going to really affect our lives. And in fact, the most successful people, when we talk about Steve Jobs, was a college dropout. So he was very fond of this calligraphy, and he used that when he was creating the computers. So you don't even know what grades are going to play what role in your lives. Why are we attaching, that fear with that grades? Loss of success. Success is not dependent on your grades. Even if you score a little less, it's not going to impact your success is not going to be impacted because of that. Why are we creating that kind of stress for our children? So there was a study conducted with a few people. It so happened they were just asked one question, as in a few what does stress mean to you? So some of them answered that it is it's taking a toll of our lives, and we are anxious, we are strained, our relationships are getting impacted because of stress. So they answered, this was when they were in the teenagers, so they started talking negatively about stress. And then the same question was asked to another group of people who said stress is okay, right? So if I have to get up early tomorrow morning, and if I'm a little stressed about it, it's all right. So a little stress is all right. But what happens is, like, when this same these people were observed when they went to this 40 years of age, what happened is, the ones who were taking a negative viewpoint of stress, they were suffering from diseases like diabetes, hypertension, all of that. And the ones who had a positive belief about stress, they were absolutely fine. And the ones who had a negative belief about stress, they were some of them even died by the 40 plus of age. So basically, it's your belief about stress which makes a difference. Little stress is okay, it makes you achieve your targets, it makes you study, it makes you serious about certain things in your life. But uh, taking a negative belief about stress is going to impact your life in a negative manner. So again, having a positive viewpoint about anything, your belief system matters a lot in your life. So your self-worth, you are worthy enough to be successful, you are worthy enough to be taken as seriously as a human being. Is it connected with grades? There are so many aspects to self-worth, your values, your skills. There are so many things. So why do we connect exam results with our worthiness? That is very, very wrong. So there was one more test conducted with a set of children, as in a set of children, say about 25 children. They were given a lot of stress, in the sense they were told to perform to the best of their abilities, and they were given a specific time to conduct that exam, and they wrote their names and everything, and then they conducted the exams. And uh, there was another group of children where they told that you can perform as you want, there's no pressure on you, to the best of your abilities. You don't even have to write your names. So all the stress was taken away from that particular group of children. And one set of children, they were given a lot of stress. So when the results were observed, the ones who were stressful, they did not perform so well, and the ones who were stress free, they outshined. So I think this stress factor, this anxiety factor, has to be taken away from our children's minds. It's impacting their lives. Then the feeling of being let down. So who lets them down? Now tell me. We as parents and teachers let down our children. Is it worth it? Should we be doing it? Just write your answers in the chat box. What do you all feel? Should we let down somebody? Come on, friends. Please interact. Who lets our children down? We as parents and teachers. But should we do that? Are you all listening, guys? Yeah. Let's make them feel free and let them do it as how much they can. Yes. And yes, thank you so much, Srinath. Thank you for interacting. Anybody else? We should not let down our children at all because of, I mean, grades and results of exams. We should not be doing that. It's of no use. It's not going to bring out the best out of our children. So there are a few symptoms which can help you identify, whether the child is anxious or no. And we see it all the time happening in around us. So one physical symptom is like perspiration. They start perspiring, sweating, and if you notice that, you have to take some action around it. And then palpitation. Suddenly you feel a gush of blood flowing under your skin. So, uh, you can feel it here or on your wrist. So it's a wrong system. I think it should not be there. But most of the parents shout at them when they cannot achieve good marks. They may say that we are wasting money on you. How to deal with such parents? This is why this session is conducted with parents. I think, definitely they are spending money, but uh, is it worth giving that stress to the child? That's part of their parenting. Na? We need to spend money on our children. But is it, if it is working in a positive manner, they should be doing it. But I don't think this is going to make a positive impact on the child. Don't create pressures in that manner. Actually, the ones who create pressure are the ones they have not worked with them, or probably they don't understand. Later on, by giving them a lot of stuff and spending a lot of money, it's not going to bring up results. We need to work on the foundations. Those of them who don't do it in the early years, they are the ones who don't understand, and they are the ones who create pressure for their children. So parents also need to be guided in that regard. They don't know. Actually, the ones who are doing it, they don't realize what repercussions they're going to face later on. Because of this, children are not going to outshine. They're not going to bring out the best out of their children, their own children. And they don't know actually. They didn't need to be told about it. This pressure is not going to bring out anything out of the children. And parents feel bad when children are suffering. If you see a small child, 13, 14-year-old child having palpitations, it's so painful for the parent to see that. They run towards the doctor. They are the ones who have to take them to the doctors then. Then they may be having headaches and stomach aches, nausea, vomitings, and they feel tired and indigestion. All that is happening. So many physical symptoms, they appear. Now, what if we talk about the emotional symptoms? They have mood swings, as in they are absolutely normal. Suddenly they may start crying, or they may start shouting or howling. कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा मुझे, मैं क्या करूं? What do I do? And then they show they are very, very restless. They can't sit at one place. They start walking. They start doing. I mean, you'll see absolutely different behaviors at that point of time. They can't sleep. They want to sleep, but they can't sleep, which is a very sad situation. I think the parents feel bad at that point of time. They don't understand what is wrong with the child. पहले पढ़ते नहीं हो. Again, there are some parents who would react in a negative manner that time also. They would say पहले तो पढ़ते नहीं हो, लास्ट में जब प्रॉब्लम, कल एग्जाम है तो अब सारा टेंशन लेना शुरू कर दिया, उससे कुछ होगा थोड़ी ना. But then they are the ones who have to take them to the doctors. Parents themselves are taking medicines in that regard. Children are taking medicines, but this should not happen. This is why we are conducting this session. Then behavior symptoms, if you see, they are not interested in studying. There comes a saturation point where they can't comprehend anything. And, they want to study, but they are not able to study because of stress. They don't want to eat also. And you tell them to finish the stuff, you are creating pressure. Kal exam hai, itna khatam karo, jaldi karo, do it fast. You have an exam tomorrow, but they don't understand. They want to procrastinate. They are not able to do it. It's actually the stress taking a toll on their minds. And then they want to be isolated. They'll tell you that don't come in my room, just leave me alone, all that. They want to be isolated. So when this is happening, this is a symptom that needs to be identified by the parent, that stress is taking a toll on my child. There's something really wrong with my child. I need to help my child at that point of time. So what do you all say? Is it worth all that effort? Should we create such situations, or should we do something about it? Come on, parents. Please interact. Has anybody amongst you have faced something like this? Sanchita, have you seen something like this around? You're a coach yourself. Yes. Yes, thank you. Anybody else? I told you all you should keep the chat box interacting. Otherwise, with the screens off, it's like I'm putting you all to sleep. Yeah. No, ma'am, because I'm good at my studies, but I motivate everyone to take it easy. You must be good, wonderful. And you haven't seen it around? That means you're the principal, you're a very good principal. That shows wonderful. Yeah. So well, moving on. So what are the repercussions? What happens is the cortisol levels, they go very, very high. So cortisol is one such hormone. Yeah, somebody has answered. You're most welcome. So cortisol is one such hormone which should be in adequate quantities in our blood uh, flows. So if it is low, then also it is harmful. When it is high, then also it is very, very harmful. So this is going to create a lot of physical problems. So there comes a saturation point, the brain shuts down. You stop retaining or memorizing, your brain will just shut down. No, you can't do anything after that. And they want to avoid that pain. Now children they're not happy about it, and they harm themselves because of that. So suddenly, you'll see that they are sitting in front of the books, but then they would not like to study. They are not able to study. That happens. And what happens is your stress level also goes high at that point of time, and then you start howling and shouting at them. So is it going to impact the relationship? Do you think you'll be having a good relationship with your child at that point of time? When you howl and shout, will you have a good relationship? You don't study, you have created all the pressure a day before. This is I told you this is going to happen. And then, when you create that kind of an environment, when you are, reacting and you are shouting, or you will have trust issues. You think your child is going to trust you ever? Will he come back with his stories, his life stories to you? Never. So this is not going to help us. Palpitations and physical challenges are also going to be there, but this is not going to help us. Now, how should we behave in this kind of a situation? What is happening in their minds is the fear of failure. So it so happens when our army men, when they go for wars, or whenever there used to be a war, so what was communicated to the army men? You have to create a fear in the other side of the ones with you whom you are fighting. If you have created that fear, you will the winning part is going to be very, very easy in a war. So if the child is having fear of failure, it's already decided that he will be failing in that exam. So this fear is something that needs to be really addressed in their lives. And then, when they are scared, their confidence level, this confidence goes down. They're not confident enough to remember or study. Again, whatever efforts they are going to do in this frame of mind, it's not going to work for them. They're not able to plan how they need to study, which topics they need to cover, when nothing is going to happen. And they are anxious because they are overthinking about the results. What is going to happen to me after this exam? So when they're again, the whole circuitry of overthinking starts. You start thinking, oh my god, it is half the day is gone, I haven't been able to complete these topics. Now how will I be able to complete that? So in that stress level, they will not be, when the stress rises, they are not able to complete the task. They start seeking validation. Will I be able to score enough marks to pass these exams? They keep asking you such questions. So it's not going to help. But yes, here your being patient and your being cool and calm is going to create a hell lot of difference to their lives. So what a parent has to do, I mean, the answer lies over here only. They are not able to decide, and they are not motivated enough to do things. So like Srinath is saying that he keeps everybody motivated. So to keep everybody motivated, a lot of work has to be done. I think you're already doing it. Now, I'm just going to share the solutions how to resolve this problem. So relax is one acronym that I've picked up. I'm going to talk about how we can relax our children around. So this is going to help you help them study management techniques, and the time management, diet and health, everything. So let's pick up the alphabet R as a solution. So we need to remind ourselves that we are the only parent for our children. So I think every relationship can be replaced, but what parents are, you are the only parents for your children, and nobody, is going to be all that concerned as you are. So you have to remind yourself that you are the only ones who can be concerned for your children. So take care of yourself. Uh, Take care of your own stress levels also during the exams. Try to be cool and calm, patient with yourself, with your child also. Now, suppose the previous exam is done. So, is it going to help us anyways talking about that exam? What happened in that exam? Oh my God, you missed this question. Oh my God, this went wrong. Oh my God, how will you do that? It's not going to help us. So talking negatively about the last exam, we don't need to do that. It is what is gone is gone. Let's prepare, gear up for the next one. See, what you think, what you do with the child at that point of time is going to make a hell lot of difference to them. What you are thinking is automatically being filtered to their minds, and they are going to just follow whatever you do. So keep yourself cool and calm. You may tell yourself, I'm not going to say anything, but then if you're thinking like that, automatically that emotion is communicated to the child, and they would also be thinking like that. So it's not going to help us. Let's forget about it. Past is history, tomorrow is a mystery. Present is a gift. Let's focus on the present. Regulate your emotions. You may be feeling stressed. Even you are stressed. You may be having a lot of tension in your mind. Your arguments, you may feel like arguing, but just control yourself. I'm saying regulate. You must know how to regulate yourself, your emotions. Whatever you are feeling, you should know how to regulate yourself, how you can make yourself feel good about yourself. Don't use any kind of, abusive talks with the child. It's not going to, or demeaning your child. It's not going to help you. And don't keep hovering on his head. How much is done? How much is left? Don't hover. Hovering parenting is absolutely not done. Or shaming the child. Oh my God, you haven't completed this much as yet. So how will you complete the whole syllabus? Don't do that. It's not going to help. Just keep your emotions cool and calm, and just be around to be supportive for the child. You have to create a conducive environment, learning environments, wherein, a corner of the house, a place in the house, which is having no distractions. You have to understand what distracts your child. It can be a paper, you know, uh, something to hold the paper also. So they keep tossing it out, and maybe it's going to distract the child. That specific place has to be all distraction free. It should be, the light should be enough, adequate lighting is required, and then circulation of oxygen, the air circulation of nice ventilated space in the house. And yes, sound free, and it should be distraction free. So this kind of an environment is going to help you. So and then besides that, when you have created that environment, you have told your child to, you have removed all the screens from that place, and you've taken away your mobile as well. Now, it's very important that you also don't use it in front of the child. You keep scrolling and you tell your child not to do it. Your actions speak louder than your words. What you say and what you behave, your actions will be followed more than what you say to your child. So this is also a part of this creating that conducive environment. We need to be mindful about our own actions as well. And then, if you're keeping a track about what all is covered during that day, we need to reward them for their achievements. Like suppose if they're finished 2 or 3 chapters, keep rewarding. And reward doesn't need to be something in form always. It can be, maybe we can uh, play a game in between, or we can eat something interesting. Again, we need to be mindful about what we are eating, because they will be having nausea, vomiting, so all that. We need to be mindful. The food has to be very, very light, because they need to concentrate. Heavy food is again going to cause trouble to us only. So that is also there. Then the second part of it, that is the second alphabet, that is E. So we need to expectation management. I wanted to become a doctor. Now I'm expecting my child to become a doctor, and I'm, you know, keeping that expectation very, very high. Is it going to help us? Tell me. We should be having positive expectations from our children, but having high expectation, does it help us? Come on, friends, tell me. We try to impose our expectations on our children. Does it help us? I wanted the chat box to be active. Let them express what they wanted to do and become. Yes. So this, if we have high expectations and we start imposing our expectations on them, this is going to create pressure on them. So we have to manage our expectations. Whatever they wish to do, whatever they wish to become, let them be themselves. And then we need to ensure the required resources for the exam. So whatever is required prior to the exam, all the resources need to be provided before the time of exam. Not that we are running for the resources on the day when it has to be done. So again, when we are disorganized in few things, again, that is also going to create some pressure on the child. So we have to ensure that everything that is required for the exam, they are provided. They are in place before the exam. And then we don't need to correct or, make corrections in whatever they are doing. We have to exchange our emotions and feelings, how they are feeling. Like suppose after coming back from the exam, we need to ask them how are they feeling. When they're preparing, how are you feeling? You're feeling relaxed now? We have done it. We've done it. What we had decided, we have been able to complete it. Whatever the emotions are, we need to ask them, because that is again a when you just sometimes when you just tell your emotions, it's gone. You're scared, you just tell somebody, what, I'm feeling a little nervous, and everybody will say, but you're sounding very confident. Or something like your child comes up and tells you, mama, I feel as if I'm forgetting everything. But baba, you scored so well in your last exam. Talk about the successes. And then just by talking, you'll be amazed how their negative emotions just go by. So eliminate all negative talks and pressures, even with your spouse, amongst yourself. We need to keep away all our negative talks that happen in the house, and any kind of pressure that should not be given to the child. Then we can empower them with affirmations, something like, but some children might be feeling overconfident. Uh, if they're feeling overconfident, that's good for them. And then we can, again, what our job is, we can validate whether they have done it. Their feeling of overconfidence is because of what they have learned, the kind of work they have accomplished. It's because of that. Then it's good. Let them feel overconfident. Feeling powerful before an exam is also good. But again, if they have not done their task and then they are overconfident, I don't need to study, that is wrong. That we need to check. So something like, I enjoy my subjects when I'm studying. I easily understand and retain what I study. Some affirmations need to be, some positive affirmations. You can write it down, paste it on their, study table. It's going to help them. Exams are fun for me. You know what happens when you say a sentence 4 or 5 times? Your subconscious mind, it creates situations for you in that manner. Your wiring happens. And when you say positive things to yourself, you'll be amazed it starts happening in front of you. You know, so I think you can create some good affirmations like getting good marks is natural for me. Every day is in every way, I'm getting better and better every day. I'm always focused on my studies. So what you want them to be doing, some affirmations you can start writing and putting it on their study table. It's going to help them. It's going to work wonders for them. Then something like L, the third letter L. So you have to look after yourself also. So, because whatever you are feeling is automatically being filtered to your child. So, if you are not stressed, your child is also not going to be stressed. If you are feeling comfortable, your child will start feeling comfortable. So, again, you have to look after yourself. So, again, you have to, mind the distractions, the screens. If somebody, there's a younger child in the house and your child, one of your child is seriously studying in the other room, try not to put on the screens. So because this is going to help them. And loud stress, it's going to steal calmness. Like if we shout at somebody or we are having arguments at the house, the one who is focusing is not going to focus at that point of time. We have to learn our child's mind, how they are thinking, how empowered they are feeling at that point of time. They are scared or they are not scared. Just learn what is happening in their minds. So we have to be supportive, not hovering around, but being supportive enough. And if you know what learning language they have, whether they are an auditory child, whether smells are something which can impact, so we can create some incense, we can light some incense sticks around. Because if a child who's able to, is having a strong sense of smell, if you put on that incense sticks around, they'll be able to remember fast. Whether they are auditory, they are visual, or they are kinesthetic. If we know the learning languages, we can help them to, we can facilitate them to learn in that manner. So then they will be able to absorb the content very easily if we focus on the learning languages also. And also their kind of personality traits they have, what are their strengths. So all the challenges that they have, they can be resolved if we follow the path of their strengths. Suppose my child is musical, so I can allow them to put on some light music when they are doing some calculations. It's going to help them pick up fast. So all these things, if they are taken care of, you will see they'll be able to memorize easily. So we have to focus on the long-term happiness. Outcomes, what outcome, is we are going to get after we finish our exams. So let's focus on that, not, the immediate thing like result, if it is good or not. See, happiness, all these emotions, happiness it's good to focus on that. But if we connect grades and marks with happiness, that is not good. So we have to consciously focus on long-term happiness, not the immediate benefit that we are going to get after the exams. And yes, we have to love our child unconditionally. Love the child you have for whatever he is, whatever he is doing, not what we want him. Unconditional love is the key to everything. It's going to help them pick up fast. So I think the next alphabet solution, that is A. We teach our children to help somebody, but asking for help is also one value that needs to be inculcated. So when whatever they feel they are not able to do, they have to ask for help. And when they ask for help, the very next moment, help comes their way and the problem is solved. They have to adapt a routine, as in what time they are getting up, what time they are sleeping. If they follow a routine, automatically the mind gets conditioned to accomplishing something. So again, routine has to start, whenever the exam dates are coming up, at least 1.5 months beforehand, we have to get them into a routine so that automatically they will not realize most of our, actions are because of the behaviors we have. So if we adapt a routine, managing time is not going to be difficult for us. Then as parents, we don't have to compare their marks with anybody. Your one of your friend got this many marks and he got this much marks. No, nobody's schedules or plans. No comparison has to be done, because comparison again is going to create stress for them. Then talking about their diets, again, junk food is a complete no, no junk food, no heavy food. Fruits and salads, nuts, salads, water, because 70% of our body is water. Having a good having go if we go on drinking water, we are having enough oxygen in our body, and yes, we feel active. Coffee one can have, but not too much of coffee, because again it stimulates the mind. It's not good. You won't be able to sleep easily. And adequate sleep is also mandatory, because again it increases your memory and it reduces your stress. So 7 to 8 hours of sleep is very much required, and we need to take care that our children do get that much of sleep. And all of this, after all of this, huh, uh, if you drink a lot of coffee, then you will not be able to sleep also. So, but sleep is very much required. One can have, but not too much of coffee. It's not good. It is a cause of high blood pressure also. If if you ask the doctors also, they also tell you not to have too much of coffee. Then X, when we talk of extricate unnecessary commitments, like, we try to put lot of pressure on ourselves, like we want to do everything, let me just do this work for also the other works also. We try to take a lot of responsibility. We have to, at this point of time, we need to extricate unnecessary commitments. Then all the extra work that we do, we have to eliminate all that work. So there's one nice thing that I follow, the 4 Ds of time management. So, you make a list of work that you need to accomplish in that particular day. And then out of that list, if you feel something is unnecessary, just drop it. First is just drop the unnecessary work that you want to do that day. And some things they should not, if you feel they can be delayed, just delay those works. And the third is, if you feel somebody else can do it, just delegate it. And out of all those tasks, what you feel nobody else, but you have to do it, just do it. So in this manner, you don't overburden yourself, just do the relevant stuff. Because when your mind is going to be overburdened, you will be stressed, and that's going to be passed on to your child. Then third is, you need to extend your care and support to your child, which is very much required in whatever form, whatever care and support you can provide. Be around, and without pressure, just be around that child, just to support him, not to pressurize him. Then talk about, when you're sitting around, when you're around, just talk about your past success stories. You were that in that particular time, you were able to finish so much of syllabus in just a span of 1 hour. You could manage all of that. Just talk about the past success stories. You accomplished this. You were able to do this also. I mean, we do a very small activity, but it is very, very powerful, in the sense when they are small. A jar can be taken up, and you can start writing, I can do this, I can do this, I did this, did that. So when they say, how can I do this? Just show that jar. See, you can do so many things. Just talk about their past success stories. Or you can have a board in your house where you put up pictures of all the successes, all the accomplishments that they have achieved. Maybe it's a small story, a small nice letter they have written for you. Just put it there. So talk about their past success stories. And don't expose the child's weaknesses, because it can lower their self-esteem. It's not going to work. So work on their strengths, not their weaknesses, because we want to empower our children. All this is going to help us. Now, I don't think there are any kids here, but if you want, do you want me to talk about Relax for Kids? All parents have joined. Do you want me to share this, or shall I skip all this? Are you all there? So there are a few expert tips that I want to share with you. Are you all excited about it? Just type the word excited in the chat box. Okay, I'll tell you in brief. I can share in brief. Okay. So, see, we need to make them aware. They need to realize their worth, feel good about themselves. That is more important. So when they have to go for the exams, they need to report before time and routine, whatever routine they have, they need to follow that diligently. That helps them. And before, setting up the stage for their exams, they need to recall all of their success stories. That empowers their mind. And repeat whatever they have learned by teaching others through discussions. That helps a lot. So it's like when you have to teach somebody else, it's like a test going on, and then you can make sure what you forgot and what you need to remember again, recall again, and reflect on accomplishments. And the E alphabet for children would be empower with a growth mindset. So if they have that mindset of growth, mindset is everything. Attitude is everything. If that, if they have that growth mindset, they feel empowered. And when you feel empowered, similarly, when I was talking about scared, when you're feeling scared, you have lost. And when you feel empowered, you have accomplished, already accomplished. In your mind, you have already created that success pattern. So you are going to achieve that. So enjoy whatever you have, your strengths. You need to understand what you are strong at and use that extensively when you are learning. Exercise is very, very important, and it releases your cortisol rates also. It reduces your cortisol rates. So, there is a tendency of increase in the cortisol hormone in your bloodstream. But when you exercise, this comes down to a normal, adequate level. So, environmental choices, as in, important decisions that you have to take, that also you need to be mindful about that and enhance your senses. If you increase the number of senses when you're studying something, your recall is better. You can recall easily. Like suppose I talked about taste also. Suppose you're eating something at that point of time when you're writing your exam, you remember mama was making something in the kitchen and I could smell that, and then she bought this, and then I was having it. So you remember all that when you're writing that exam. So we think that this is not going to impact, but all these things impact our minds. They have to limit the desires, that, urge to reach out to that screen, or, when they're taking a break, they want to reach out to that mobile, but they need to stop themselves. Just limit the desires. And, one of the friend calls up, Chal Aja, let's go out for a while. You are taking a break now, let's go out for a while. No, don't mingle. They need to understand that, don't need to tire themselves anywhere. And when they're taking a break, it should be something, uh, just a brisk walk in the house only, not, going out and they don't come back easily. And they have to learn from their mistakes, whatever mistakes they did last time. It should not be a reminder of, I went wrong. It should be like, I need to improve on these are my areas of challenge and I need to improve on these. And learning language, they should understand, they should know their own learning language. Then, when they learn, it's going to create a big impact. Affirmations, they have to affirm their strengths, adhere to the schedules, which subject they need to pick up first, which chapter, which topic, all of that in, synchronization. How, they have to do it, how much time needs to be dedicated to which chapter, how much, what subject are easy for me and difficult for me, the easy and the difficult in an alternative manner. All that they have to schedule that. And then proper ventilation, air, light, and everything around, etc., has to be taken care of. Whenever they need that help, they have to ask for it. Not only help somebody, even when they need help, they have to ask for it and accept their values diligently. As in cheating, all success routes are the difficult paths. So all that has to be taken into consideration. They have to accept their values, whatever they have been taught throughout the years. So before the exam, they don't need to write down stuff that they are going to copy next day, but they need to remember that in their minds. And their mental and physical health also has to be taken care of. Then comes the X for children, that is extreme thoughts have to be expelled. Nothing, you know, nothing is going to happen if they don't score good marks. Nothing wrong is going to happen. It's all right if they score a little less. It's all right if they, if they're not able to understand, they can skip that one topic. If they think they're spending a lot of time on one particular topic, just skip it. And because that is going to create pressure. Extra efforts are must, and they need to exchange their thoughts, express themselves. That is more important. Now, expert tips. Are you all excited to know the expert tips? Yes. Okay. So let's move on. So what they can do is they can plan their days, like not what is very, very easy for them. They can plan their day accordingly, in the sense when they start the day, they let them start with something difficult, and alternatively they can put on something easy. And by the end of the day, they should be able to see a lot of things they have accomplished throughout the day. That is going to reduce the pressure, if they have a day left. So if they start alternatively, they'll be able to accomplish more. If they've done something very heavy, some difficult thing first, they can solve a light paper after that. And they can even solve papers in minimum 6 sets if they're able to do that. So that gives them confidence that they are able to do it. What they're going to do the next day is like a rehearsal being done. So you're telling your brain, yes, I can do this. And sometimes, again, you are creating an environment in your mind as well. You are rehearsing that success. So try to finish that exam in the same duration, probably the same attire and the same environment. If you can go and sit in that room and conduct it. So it's going to be like a rehearsal you've given to your mind that, yes, I can do it. That confidence would come a day before. Some quick tips I would like to share is like your eyes are being used, thoroughly using your eyes when you are learning something. Just keep blinking your eyes. It helps you. And there are some eye exercises on the net as well, wherein you don't need to just move. Eyeball exercises, if you look for, they are available on the net as well, without moving your head. So that relaxes, all input is happening to the eyes only. Eye exercises are going to, increase your ability to focus. Then keep washing your eyes and face at regular intervals, because again, you feel more fresh. There's something very interesting here which can be used as reverse reading, like uh, a content we tend to read from left to right. That is the easiest pattern that we have been doing all these years. Try reading something from right to left. So suppose if you feel that you're losing your focus, you're tired, you're not going to focus yourself, just do the reverse reading. You'll see immediately a focus comes by and you are able to concentrate better. Then something like take a short walk uh, in during the intervals when you're studying on a continuous basis. Just get up and take a brisk walk. Just change the state when you feel bored or you feel you're not able to retain or remember. Just take a brisk walk, not a complete gym routine. A 15 to 20 minutes brisk walk is also going to help you. Then you need to revise, reread. Then you don't need to read the complete content. Try to create some cue cards for formulas. Just look at the cards, what you need to remember, and just go by. Time management, there are few techniques like Pomodoros. If you are aware of that, Italian word Pomodoro is a tomato, this thing, timer somebody had. So wherein they created, a focused learning for 20 minutes, and they took a break of 5 minutes. After 4 Pomodoros, they used to take a break, a long break. Long break, not meaning 45 minutes, maybe 15 to 20 minutes. That's it. So, they were monitoring, and this particular 20 minutes is unfocused. They will be doing just one thing at a time. No multitasking, just one thing at a time. And yes, so the accomplishments, the number of accomplishments, they increase when they sit down and they tell themselves, just for 20 minutes, just for 20 minutes, I'm going to focus and not get up. And they are able to increase their productivity levels. Mind mapping, if they're aware of, they are visual learners. it helps them pick up fast, some uh, mind mapping, uh, even tools are available on the net if they are aware of. They can create that beforehand, flashcards to memorize. So all these visual learners, auditory learners, accordingly, if they understand, they can create these tools to learn things easily later on. This Pomodoro technique, if you're aware of, it's like they decide the task, they set the timer, they work on the task, and when the alarm rings, they stop doing that. And then one Pomodoro is complete, and after four Pomodoros, they take a long break. Now, something very important, they need to take care of themselves so they don't have to skip meals. Even if your child is telling you, nahi khaya ja raha, nahi khana, just tell them to eat a little. Don't skip meals. But no heavy meals as well, because that again puts you to sleep. You want to sleep after that. Nuts, fruits, and water has to be taken care of, because again, these things digest very easily. They give a lot of energy as well. And water is very, very important because brain needs a lot of oxygen. You are drinking oxygen. No movies and screens. You have to refrain from watching movies at during your breaks. Don't expose yourself. Again, those waves are emitted, which are going to disrupt your concentration abilities. Meditation, if they do, and breathing exercises, alternate nostril breathing, and something like, they inhale and then stop for 10 seconds and then exhale. And again, they exhale and wait for 10 seconds and then inhale. So this is a beautiful way of, inhaling a lot of oxygen, providing a lot of oxygen to your mind. You stay active during the study. A good sound sleep is a blessing, if you're able to take that, a lot of things gets processed in your mind. It's very much required. Tea and coffee, although it is suggested, but limited intake. That is important. Some concentration techniques, like I shared, reverse reading helps you do that. Dot meditation is something like you light a candle and put it at your eye level, just keep staring at it, and suddenly you see that, it starts growing. That aura of that candle, that light, suddenly it grows. So that is Thrata technique. Alphabet hunting, during the break times, this can be done. So you pick up a newspaper and try to look out for an alphabet. They're all hidden, and just start circling them. So again, your concentration comes by. Something like mandala art, just pick up a sheet of mandala and start coloring. So that is very fine coloring that is required. It helps. Sudoku, I mean, during the breaks, this can be done. This is going to increase the concentration abilities. A nature walk or a study, because again, when you go out in the park, also just take a brisk walk in the park and come back, your endorphin levels increase, and they are the happy hormones. They make you start feeling happy. Even if you don't do anything around, you start feeling happy around. So last but not the least, stop being afraid of what you could do wrong, what could go wrong, and plan of what will go right. Don't stress, trust yourself. Trusting yourself, believing in yourself is going to take you very, very long. Now we are open to questions. I would request you all, I'll stop sharing and I'm open to you all of your questions. So if you want, you can unmute yourself and ask me all the questions. Would you like to ask? Thank you, Srinath. You don't want to ask anything? Just open your videos, and if you have any questions, you can ask me, or we can close the session then.